Hey guys, I'm Jack from We Are the Ocean and you're watching Hold Up Now TV. In comparison to other shows, I mean, one thing we've done Walked on America, and so it's got a lot of similarities. Obviously it's indoors and it's winter, but it's got a lot of similarities, like the merch villages, the stage times being announced on the day, and kind of equality of it all. So the whole Walked vibe is really different in that respect. I like it, but obviously you've got less time to promote your own shows. But as well as that, like here, being at Ali Pali, it's a bit similar to Earls Court and Give It a Name, which was a festival we loved like 5 years ago, and that was the indoor rock festival then. So now we've just missed the boat on that, so this is like the next best thing. So for us, we're really excited to do it for those two reasons. But yeah, there's a big air of excitement as well. Like obviously all shows are exciting, but this is really, I don't know, you can feel it. There's very few songs that we wouldn't want to play. Naturally, whenever you work on new material, it's the freshest, and you want to play it because A, you're enjoying it at the time, and B, it's more relevant to your campaign. So you have to bear in mind kind of what kind of show it is. This is a festival where maybe a lot of people haven't seen us before, haven't heard us before, or haven't heard the new album. So we'd try and get a nice mix of all the albums. Whereas other shows, we may be able to just do newer songs or. So, there's very few songs that we categorically don't want to play. So we just try and play songs we think will get a good reaction from the crowd and songs that represent the band the best, I think. Because, like on our previous stuff, we had a lot of heavier songs compared to our past two albums. So the more we play them, it's not really an accurate representation of the full band. So we try and just do one of them or two. But yeah, we're not too fussed. There's no songs that we kind of just, grin and bear it just for the crowd. We're happy to play them all. So. I think with collaborations, a lot of the times they're kind of forced. I think it's like the brainchild of a label, and it's not particularly thought through. And sometimes it does work, but I think if you kind of come up with an idea or a theme beforehand and discuss it with someone and go from the beginning with them, then that could be really effective. And definitely something we could be open to. But I think a lot of the time, especially when you've got like maybe a rock band and a rapper, it may just be an idea, and the idea is just a bit out there, and the song is just a bit forced. So it depends how you do it. We've never done anything. We haven't even had guest vocals on a song yet. So when we do, ask me again, and I'll see. We're right in the process of writing at the minute. The general vibe is it'll be a full album. But you never know. EPs seem to be kind of the hot new thing to push out EPs or singles, like with a bunch of B-sides and stuff. So maybe, but we're kind of at the beginning of that adventure. So probably by the new year we'll have decided like a more accurate release date, a more accurate track list and things like that. But as it stands, we always try and write a full album. We think you've got a bit more space to make a full product, whereas EP is just like a couple of songs that good. With album, you can have like interludes or X, Y, Z to make it fuller. So we're aiming for an album. With every album, there's going to be a bit of change, but it's closer to the third album, the previous album, than say the first and second were. Every year, you get new inspiration, you listen to new music, you come around with new ideas. We're not going to be kind of reinventing the wheel in terms of radiation or in terms of music. But we're definitely going to try and push the boundaries a bit more, push the boat out. The last album was the first we've done this kind of four-piece, and we kind of want to see how far we can take that. But yeah, like I said, it's early days at the minute, but the songs we've got so far are kind of carrying on where maybe today, maybe tomorrow left off. So. This is one of the most frequently asked questions we get, and I can't remember. I never have a good answer. I feel like if I look back to an interview 5 years ago, I might. I remember, like from the off, when we were starting the band, we knew we wanted like an epic sound. We wanted to sound as big as possible, so we needed a name to kind of represent that. And I guess someone just threw it in the air, and that was that. And we were just happy with the big sound. It suited the music we were writing at the time, and luckily it's kind of stood the test of time so far. So. Yeah, since Cutting Our Teeth, that album is titled that because it was such a learning curve for us. That was the first time we recorded properly, the first time we'd written for an album. and first time we've been abroad as a band because we recorded in America. So that whole album was such a learning curve, and we took what we learned there, going into the second album to really find our sound, find what we wanted to play. So that was like a big jump from first to second album. We found like a more melodic kind of straight up rock place, whereas we had a few like screamo post-hardcore tags before. And I think since that second album, we've just been kind of honing the sound and like with the new album pushing the boundaries a bit. But I think it's generally on the same platform, whereas the first was a bit different. But yeah, the main jump between sound has been made, so we're just kind of perfecting it. Yeah, I think it was just their roster that attracted us to them, because we actually kind of signed before we'd met most of the people there at all. So we just saw the roster and was like, yep, this works. And yeah, they've been fantastic. I mean, we had 2 albums with them, and they just had some great ideas. And we pressed our first vinyl with them, which was something that a box we'd always wanted to tick, but hadn't happened in the UK or in Europe. And yeah, and every time we were over there, like they just had some really cool ideas, and like we got to do some cool little functions and cool little shows. And they really, and a big part of us is people that get the band, get the image of the band, what we're trying to be perceived as, and like push ideas towards it, which is what Hassle do. And Side One Dummy had the same image, so it's great to not to have to like butt heads on stuff. So yeah, they were great. To be Loughton actually probably is. I think a lot of the time you get it in towns more in the country, kind of when there's nothing to do. But I think it's changed, because when we started, it was because of the scene around Loughton, going to Walthamstow. Like there was a big scene. We all met at shows, and that was it. And now that scene is, a bit on the rocks. But now I think a big part of it is to do with the online aspect of it. So I think it doesn't matter where you come from. If you're interested in music, there's so many different platforms you can put it out on. But I mean, the best advice is, and we're lucky because we have a studio in Loughton, so if you can get a convenient place just to keep working and keep practicing, don't kind of force anything out before you're ready. Because I think, and again, especially with the internet, it's too easy a platform to use. So a lot of people will write a song on GarageBand, whatever, put it out there and expect things to come. But you need to really just spend some time, have fun with writing. Don't kind of get into touring too soon. That'll come.